All right. Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Blabbin' About Slabbin'. It is Chris's favorite day of the month. And what day is that, Chris?
It is absolutely my favorite day of the month, Jeff. It is, of course, SSP Thursday, the first Thursday of every month. It is also a fresh bottle of Jack Daniel's Thursday. So really, there's two reasons to celebrate today.
I'm glad you got reinforcements. I know some of the viewers were worried.
It was a tough couple weeks, Jeff, or a tough 7 or 8 days. But I powered through. I think some of my hair grew back, actually.
Looks good. Looks good.
We'll see how it looks in 8 days.
There was a lot to talk about with SSP Thursday. This month, I'd say, was the best we've seen so far. People absolutely bringing the heat.
Oh yeah, yeah. People using the hashtag. If you didn't check our stories, you can just check that hashtag. And there are, I think I put up about 65 stories so far. I know there's a couple more waiting right now. It's been incredible. The opening day stuff today, in particular, Jeff, has just been incredible.
Yes, I was having conversations with some of you guys about opening day, which is something I still haven't delved too far into, but it's just incredible seeing that come out.
Oh yeah, and the David Ortiz stuff also today. I saw 2 David Ortiz cards today that I'd never seen outside of Beckett Galleries before.
Okay, so I know. Are we going to get to both of them?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I know there was at least one that falls into that camp for me. It was great. It was fun to see. It was fun to see the engagement with the Instagram hobby. So hopefully, if you guys are not yet on Instagram, go check it out for a preview. Like Chris said, you can just check out our stories, and there are a lot of people that use the hashtag SSP Thursday.
Yeah, there's some really, really fun cards to scroll through. Hey, James Lombardo, how's it going? I hope you're enjoying a softball-free week like I am. My body is really enjoying not having to run around on Tuesdays. My ankles feel great. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Yeah, moment of silence for Trout. We're going to talk about Trout in a little bit, but first I wanted to focus on a brief moment of positive news.
What?
All right. I don't know. The Dodgers didn't announce anything that I saw, but Freddie Freeman and his wife had some news today. If you haven't noticed, Freeman hasn't played for the Dodgers in about 5 or 6 days. His son was actually in the hospital. He was hit with they thought it was something else. They announced today what it was. I can't pronounce it, but it sounds horrible and terrifying. But for the first time in 2 days, his son was able to get off the respirator and off the ventilator and breathe on his own. So he and his wife posted that on Instagram today. They finally have some good news. And it appears that his son is on the mend. They're now expecting a full recovery. But my God, Jeff, that just sounds absolutely terrifying. And the last thing we heard was Freeman was running out of the clubhouse to get to his car, and the Dodgers hadn't seen him since.
And wow, that sounds really really bad. I mean, originally I'd heard it was some sort of maybe hip infection, which sounds bad, but this sounds like a breathing issue, which is really scary. So
yes,
I can understand how distracting that would be from any sort of occupation activity. So I'm glad Freeman's gone with his family, but hopefully he'll be able to be back soon. That's great.
Yeah, if you know anything about Freddie, you know he's a huge family first without hesitation. So yeah, I'm glad he was able to be there, and I'm glad it looks like everything. It's going to be. They said it's going to be a bit of a road ahead for his son, but he's on the trajectory. He's out of the woods was essentially what the post was saying, which is a big relief for anyone who cares about anything, really.
Yeah, Kevin's right. Some things are bigger than baseball, so it's been sad to see him out of the lineup, but I'm very glad for him and his family.
Just adjusting my light here, Jeff. I'm not quitting on you.
I do want to say, Lincoln Thomas, I appreciate this. We are running up against the Olympics, which is tough to be pulled away from. I know a few weeks ago we were up against the presidential debate. That took some of our viewership away. I know because we have very politics oriented folks. But tonight, hopefully somebody will stick with us. Maybe you can just mute the Olympics and listen to us, or mute us and listen to the Olympics.
Although, Jeff, I have to say, watching the Olympics on mute is tough. If you're watching a swimming race, the last lap, you can hear it's the announcers are calling the Preakness or the Kentucky Derby. They get so loud and fired up. It is pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie. We recorded everything. I try to watch all the track and field races, all the swimming races, anything jumping, long jump, high jump. That stuff is incredible because you might not know by looking at me, but I cannot jump at all. So I really appreciate it when people can hit these heights and distances. It's incredible.
Yes, there's been some amazing events already. It's been fun watching some of the basketball all around, and I don't know. It's just it's almost overwhelming though, Chris. It's the sheer volume of Olympic stuff being thrown at you, and whatever. I'm one of those people who whatever you turn on, all of a sudden I can get sucked into the story. Like it'll be some track athlete who grew up 3 states away from where his family grew up and didn't know them, and then all of a sudden he wins a gold medal, and I'm drawn in. So, I'm one of those Olympics fans.
Jeff, I enjoyed hearing that the South Korean table tennis team was something of a Cinderella story in the Olympics this year, and that's just a sentence I never thought I would ever hear, and it was really fun. So I watched a couple matches on like the Peacock on the streaming, and that's just pure insanity. That's really fun to watch.
Coordination for those guys, I don't get it, and women, I don't understand it.
Yeah, but it's just you put on like NBC for a half an hour, and you're going to see like 3 completely unrelated like athletic events where the people are so insanely talented, and you're sitting on the couch with your feet up and probably a dog or a cat like on your lap, and it's just it's a nice juxtaposition.
And then when you get into it, you start yelling at them. How can they miss that? What are they doing?
I can't believe that girl slightly wobbled on the balance beam. What a disaster.
She lose her balance. Come on. As Jeffrey says, up against the first NFL game. That's tough.
Wait, tonight?
Yeah, I think it's the Hall of Fame game. Maybe it's tonight. It's one of the preseason games.
I do baseball. That's all I got, Jeff. I'm aware of football. I know the basic rules, some of the names, but.
Well, they're in camp now. They're in essentially what's like spring training. So they're going to start the spring training games for the next couple weeks before the season starts.
If you hadn't had a chance, by the way, to it's all over Instagram and ESPN and then we'll get to cards. But if you haven't had a chance to watch Simone Biles' floor exercise, it is probably the single most athletic thing I've ever seen a human being do. Oh. There isn't one aspect of it that I could do. And just walking up to the mat, I would probably like blow out my knee.
Yes, that is the most surprising thing, like how all her muscles and bones stay together while doing that routine. It's crazy. Oh, Kevin with an idea here today. It's hard to judge because we've seen so many great ones. There'd be a lot of medals being handed out, but it's a fun idea.
Yeah, Kevin, that's a great idea. I pulled up, it looks like about 14 tabs. So I might run out of metals, different types of metal before I get to the end. We might have like a zinc metal or I don't know. Hopefully not lead.
Professor, nice of you to mention the National. We were live on Wednesday last week for a special broadcast. The National sounds like it was a great event, some highs and lows. If you guys haven't watched our Spitball and Cards episode where we talked to a couple people that were there, Filmington and Teapot, 2 members of the team that were there. And I know Scott was even there for a little bit. So please check that out for their review of the National.
And yeah, Shelly the Turtle, that is a great story. Flavor Flav sponsoring the U.S. women's water polo team is another great story. And there's also Snoop Dogg has been all over Paris at these Olympic events, which is just really funny as well to see the athletes see Snoop Dogg and kind of get really excited.
Chris, imagine telling our college selves that the torchbearer for the U.S. 20 years from now would be Snoop Doggy Dogg, and he would be among the favorites for everybody around the world.
And also, he's friends with Martha Stewart. I mean, you can't predict the future, Jeff. There's nothing, it cannot be done. But I think Snoop Dogg also is like sponsoring one of the women's beach volleyball teams, which honestly, that makes a little bit of sense. If you think about
it. I can see that. I could see that. So that's what she said. Sports Cards, great name. So our SSP photos, we're doing on Instagram. So if you don't have an Instagram account, you might want to open one. It's a great idea for cards. These are some great ones. But if you do have one, post it on there. Use the hashtag SSP Thursday. You can tag Chris and I. Chris is a baseball card addict, and I'm my favorite cardboard. You can tag us, and then we'll share the stories. And a lot of people get to see those, which is great.
Yes, we've been trying to. Instagram is mostly like butts and puppies and cats, but we're trying to get baseball cards at least a full percentage point of Instagram content. So we'll see if we can get there, Jeff.
It's tough. Yeah, maybe 0.1% is.
That might be more doable. I'm aiming too high. Dave, Jose Ramirez. I mean, there's a lot of players who are hot right now.
Well, what's funny is that the American League is so loaded. You have the top guys in the MVP race absolutely on fire, Judge and Witt, and you've got these other guys who aren't even probably in the top 3 or 4 just as hot. You got Vlad, you got Jose Ramirez, Devers, our favorite Boston third baseman.
Yep. Don't even get me started. All right, before we get into some SSPs, I just want to hit this in the comments. Bry Guy, yeah, please don't break this. Don't rip this. Your odds of getting your money back are so slim. Our buddy Scotty B has done videos about museum collection, definitive, and a couple other products in the past where he's watched like 100 of these boxes get opened, and the percentage that actually get their money back, I mean, it's less than 10. It's usually around like 4 or 5. So it's fun to watch to see these cards, but please don't buy this product.
And if you're a player collector or you like the design, find some singles on eBay. Yes. Especially after the first week, they're going to be very inexpensive and a much better value for your money. Yeah,
because similar products will just keep coming out. And as cool as some of this stuff looks, it'll look less cool, by the fall, for sure. All right, Kevin Morales, awesome highlight right here. If you didn't see that, or the women's sevens rugby team got a bronze medal. I think it was the first time we medaled it. And I shouldn't say we. The U.S. medaled in that. And it was basically like a walk-off win. Like they scored the winning try as time expired. And it was like a 95-meter run where she just trucked this Australian girl and went the length of the field. It was a fantastic highlight. All right, we could talk about Olympics all night, Jeff.
They are tough. All right, no, but I just wanted to get to David's comment. I appreciate this. Blabbin about Slabbin is the first ballot Hall of Fame show. Love it. And you're probably referring to the Hall of Fame discussion we had the last week or so on spitball and cards too. So let us know what you think about Hall of Famers. John and Dave thinks Judge is running away with it, but if you look, he's fell to second in WAR behind Bobby Witt, who's on an absolute tear. So I don't know. I don't think it's as big of a runaway as some people might think.
Yeah, I know some people love WAR. I don't consider it the be all end all. I know Jeff and I have argued with Scott about that on spitball and cards, but it would be tough. I mean, Judge looks like he's on pace for 55 home runs. It's hard to argue against that. Witt's having a great season though. You're right. Witt has been fantastic.
Plays shortstop, kind of leading the team into a surprising playoff run, maybe batting 350. That'll be a great story too.
Yes. And yeah, Dylan, Devers has been absolutely red hot, really fun to watch. Mad City Brew have to give you, yes, the Simpsons can indeed predict the future. There is an alarming amount of, obviously when you've been on the air for 30 seasons, you got to make up some stuff, but they have hit like a lot of crazy stuff that has been on that show has actually come to fruition, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I'm curious if anyone, before we get to some SSPs, if anyone here has opened up any of that Topps Chrome Olympic stuff while we're talking about the Olympics and cards. Because I've seen some autos. I know they put like Dynasty autos in there. There's been a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the staying power for any of those cards like values would be. It seems like it probably would get hot every 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've seen the Olympics to be a pretty niche card market. Like you said, every 4 years, which is kind of how soccer has been for the most part in this country, soccer cards as well. I know there's been talk of people already trying to gobble up soccer cards for the next World Cup. Maybe it'll finally take over that, I don't know, third position, second position in card activity. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be cool to I've seen some Katie Ledecky like swimming cap Dynasty like patch autos, and those just look really cool. I mean, she's the most decorated US female Olympian of all time. But yeah, I think for right now, and it's only gonna get more and more as we go on here. But yeah, and that Michael Phelps red auto, that was really cool. Some of that stuff is great.
Yeah,
I just don't know value wise. I think I don't know, but let me just trail off. Oh, La Rufa has a question here. Yes, there are notable Jazz Chisholm SSPs. He has a flagship rookie SSP. Let me pull one of those up real quick. It is
a couple great ones on Instagram today.
Yes, a couple people posted the rookie SSP, and I'm gonna just prepare yourself because it's a pretty horrible looking card.
It would fit well with my hat series.
Yes,
that I've been posting cards about on Instagram. Unique headwear. It's more the angle of this photo, but
yeah. But if you have a friend who is a Yankee fan and they suddenly want to buy some Jazz Chisholm off your hands, now would be the time.
Yes.
So here we go. Let me see if I can figure out. I got so many Instagram windows open to talk about, Jeff.
I know.
This
I
one might
figured
take me a minute to find. Oh, nope.
Your computer might be running slow today because of all
You're not kidding. So this is the Jazz Chisholm flagship SSP rookie. It's not doing him any favors, is the best way to say.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle for sure. Like a UFO is landing on his head.
It does, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you got a guy who's so incredibly talented with speed and power, and the image they put looks like he's laughing at someone who fell down behind the cameraman. I don't know. But Topps makes weird choices. It is what it is. But Jeff, we're going to kick off talking about SSP Thursday with one of my favorite card images of all time.
All right, let's see it.
I'm really, really happy to finally see one of these show up on Instagram. So here we go. This comes from Cardboard and Wax. And if you're not following this guy, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
So this is Jose Fernandez, and he's hugging a Velociraptor, Jeff. It's a dream come true for me as a 10-year-old.
We've talked about this card. We've highlighted it on our shows where we talk about the best SSP images, and this is always right up there at the top, and it's just great. We figured out it was some, what was it, like a dinosaur theme at the stadium?
Yeah, they're Walking with Dinosaurs. That show that was this is about 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Traveling show, yeah.
Yeah. So it was that, and it was at Marlins Park. They usually have someone. Well, not usually. There is frequently someone in the Raptor getup costume. Doesn't feel like enough of a description. At Universal out here in California, you do a Raptor encounter, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fun.
The Raptor encounter. So yeah, and we always talk about when we see these great Jose Fernandez cards that it's a shame that his life and career ended so soon, because he was a guy that loved baseball and loved to play, and you could see it on all the images of him, including this one.
Yes. Yeah.
This is a good point Coda Collectibles makes. At least they got the description right. It could have just been back of jersey, but it is hugging dinosaur, which is rare for PSA. It's a rare W.
Yes, Coda Collectibles. Thank you for mentioning that, because I wanted to say that this has got to be, as far as I know, the only PSA label with the word dinosaur on it for a baseball card. I'm sure there are dinosaur cards, but this is the only baseball card with the word dinosaur on the label.
Oh, Chris, look at this. Look at this particular question. I'm interested in SSPs that feature pitchers with a bat in their hands. Any cards come to mind? The first two that come to mind for me are the Roy Halladay card.
Yep.
His Chrome, and the Spencer Strider, which I believe is one Chris has.
Yeah, the Strider, I think, is unfortunately that one's just an SP. Okay. But yeah, there's a 2012 Topps Chrome Roy Halladay where he's batting, but I mean, you're never going to find it, so I wouldn't even bother looking for that one. There's a 2014 Topps Chrome Madison Bumgarner SSP.
Yeah.
There's a couple of those floating around on Instagram. I don't think I haven't seen one fully available in 5 years, Jeff. So good luck on that one. But Madison Bumgarner also has an opening day SSP where he's batting. And I could rattle I'm trying to go through. My brain is like a little file cabinet right now. Verlander has at least one. There's one I know of where he's in a batting cage in another opening day SSP. There's got to be a Greinke one, but I can't think of what it said it would be in. But those are the ones I know of for sure. Verlander and Bumgarner. So take a look. If you just Google those, like variation batting, variation hitting, you could probably get images of them. And then good luck, because those cards are really, really hard to find. And the people that have them love them.
Donnie says finest base in 2007 as Blabbin hitting, which is
cool. There we go.
But sold the gold refractor.
Yeah, there are some. When you go back, there are obviously.
Kevin says Kershaw has a couple. I know he has a couple base. I would imagine that he's got an SSP or two with the bat in his hand. Yeah. But
yeah, so if you guys are listening and you think of any, please throw them out there, and we'll see if we can get. We see if we can get Zach at least one of these.
Alvin says Greinke does not have a batting SSP, but has a batting SP with the D-backs.
Okay, that'll be a fun little collection to put together.
Yeah, I agree. If you do, find us and tag us for sure.
Yeah, please. Well, I'd love to see those. All right. So I wanted to move on to another card, Jeff. We mentioned David Ortiz in the beginning.
Oh, man.
But this card came from SFO Sox Fan.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking. I've never seen it, ever.
Yeah, I've seen it in the Beckett Gallery of 2016 SSPs, but I've never seen someone like have it. Never seen it out in the wild. Really cool card.
So now, did SFO? Did he say? I know he's not here tonight. Usually he's with us on their lives. Did he say what the pop was? Wasn't it like there's only 4 total?
Yes, I'm reading his description right now. He says there's 4 of these cards at PSA. Whether I don't know if that counts this one, if he subbed this one or not, I'm not sure, but that's really cool. And I can't help but notice there's a lot of tension on this button right here. If Papi in his later years wasn't quite rocking the 6-pack that he had as a younger man.
Yeah, well, he as his career went on, he seemed to just lean into that, right? He used that for power. He got that body going in one direction, sending the ball in another direction.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, whatever he did, it worked. Hold on, let me find the other David Ortiz. We may as well stick with a trend here. Actually, it's gonna be right here in the beginning, isn't it? And nope, and it's gone. All right. Yeah, there was another Ortiz, but I guess we'll get to that when we get to it. I'm trying to go in order. Oh, actually, and I'm blind because it's right here. All right. So speaking of David Ortiz cards that Jeff and I happen to love, this one came from So Many Slabs, starting with a T. Maybe that's So Many Slabs. I don't know.
So many. I think it's okay. So many. I think that's right.
But it's cool to see this David Ortiz USA flag Topps Chrome card, which Jeff and I put in our video as one of the 10 best Topps Chrome cards of all time. I totally stand by it. This is a Pop 2, and we are indeed fortunate enough to have the other one, but it's really cool to sort of identify where the second one is in the wild. This card is just fantastic.
Yes, it's a great card. It's very evocative of a specific moment in history.
Yes. Yeah, really cool. You can hear it when you look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to try to move it a decent clip here. Yeah. Up next, we have Donnie's Sports Cards. This is an Albert Pujols 2018 SSP, kind of following the theme of guys running the bases with their hands up. Extremely rare, and if you get a minute, read his description here. Donnie had a garage sale, and ironically, he was selling, commons and low end stuff, baseball cards at the garage sale, and ironically ended up buying someone else's cards at his garage sale.
Which is crazy. So somebody shows up at your garage sale and you're selling things. Yep. Oh, I see you're selling cards. You want some more cards? And thankfully, Donnie said, yeah, let me take a look what you got.
Yeah, the scenario is pretty ridiculous. Oh, you're trying to get rid of these? Would you like some more?
Take some more.
And thankfully. So remember, if someone offers you, what they think is baseball card junk, it might not be. This little gem was buried in the box.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually they think it's really good and it's junk, but sometimes they think it's junk and might not be.
Yeah, you just never know. But this card is cool. It's extremely rare. But last time I looked, I think there were about 10 or 12 total at PSA. So this is a pretty rare card. 2018, they did not overprint these SSPs. So
no, and I appreciate Donnie's story. It's very instructive because Chris and I have been saying this for years that a lot of these cards just get thrown in with the commons, get thrown away or shuffled away. So any sort of known print run is not indicative of what's actually out there because a lot of these are probably gone. This one, if the guy hadn't taken this one, it might have been just thrown in the trash, right?
Yes, absolutely. So Steven at Sports MD Cards has a very funny typo here. Regarding the going back to the dinosaur card, he says, "As Lucky Fernandez wasn't eating sunglasses, or PSA would have ignored the dinosaur," and that's fair. I mean,
I would have as well.
I think we all would have ignored that dinosaur. He had a mouthful of sunglasses, but anyway.
Donnie's on here. Donnie loved the card. Shocked when I saw this card. I'll make a video on what else was in the box soon. Oh, there's a tease. I love it.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, that's I'm looking forward to it. Stories like that are great. And stuff like that makes me, when we're at big shows like the Burbank shows, Jeff, I do want to just maybe grab a Bud Light and sit at a couple like $5, $1 boxes and just sort of John Cusack my way through and see what's in there, because you just never know.
You never know. One of these will pop up, especially the opening day ones.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. All right. Next up, Jeff, we're going to go with an account with a sort of an odd name, Retro Rog Collects. If you've got any kind of stutter, this one's going to be a little tough to say. But he completed an SSP set, and we'll get to someone else who also completed a very impressive SSP set in a little bit, but he completed the 22 Topps update set. all in 9s and 10s. And if you opened any of this in 2022, you know, Jeff, that Topps didn't center a goddamn thing in 2022.
No, it's incredible to see any of these get 10s. Look at that.
Yeah. So that one looks like about as well centered as I've seen.
Yeah.
So he said he was going to put these up in clusters. So far we've got Jeter, Griffey, Spencer Torkelson, and there's going to be a book, Jeff, written about what the hell happened to Spencer Torkelson in 2024, but neither here nor there. I love that image, by the way, him and Cabrera, like a passing the torch.
Yes, that could have been a huge image if Torkelson had turned out the way people were expecting.
Yeah, even if you just built on last year a little bit. I mean, he's not even hitting in AAA right now. It's crazy. I don't know. This Tatis is a really cool shot. That's a great use of horizontal space.
Yep.
And then Willie Mays. I mean, of course, look at the bases they were using back then, Jeff.
Yeah.
That looks like a bag of flour.
Yeah, sack. Just a pillow. A pillow
right?
sitting there.
I mean, that's crazy. I love the detail in this picture, though. I love the base. The base makes me laugh. And then we got Willie's hat.
No chance of that staying on.
No, absolutely not. And it's just funny to think that guys were just wearing hats back then, not even helmets.
Yeah. And then they went to those skull caps, which didn't protect much of anything before they did the ear flaps.
But yeah, this is that's a really great card.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, yep, go ahead.
I just, before you get there, I do want to say, as part of Donnie's tease, it says Chris will like some of what else was in there. So
wait a minute now.
All right.
Well,
keep us posted, Donnie. And if you ever need to extort someone for cash, sounds like you know the right person to send your wares to.
Sadly, I feel like a lot of our viewers, Jeff, and a good portion of Baseball Card Instagram has me on speed dial as like, you know, I don't know, Atlanta Braves cards, ATM machine or something. I don't know, but
Freddie Freeman cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations on completing any sort of set. Any SSP set is really incredible. So well done.
Yes. Okay. So next up, we have an account we talk about frequently, which is Cardboard Showcase.
Yes.
He has one of my favorite collections of anyone on Instagram. I think if I could swap what I have out with anyone, it probably would be him. And
a lot of similarities, actually.
Yes, definitely similar taste.
Yeah.
So he has this really great Manny Machado.
That's my favorite Machado card.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
Horizontal. He's got the black jersey on, fully leaning out, making an outstanding defensive play, no doubt, which is what he was known for, especially early in his career and still. But look at that. So explain what he's got going on there.
Yeah, so I guess he bought this as a 9 and really looked at it and figured it was worth a shot to grade it again. So he cracked it out and got himself a 10. So good for him.
Congratulations.
Congrats to that. But yeah, Manny Machado, like we were talking about Olympic athletes doing stuff that we can never even imagine contemplating. I've seen Machado make these throws, Jeff, like 15 feet past third base and 3 steps into foul territory.
In the foul territory, right. He's practically in the dugout.
Yeah, and just sidearms it.
Yeah.
On a line to the first baseman's chest. I mean, I've sat in seats that are pretty much right there. And if I took 2 steps, I could probably rainbow it. Maybe 10 years ago.
So far, and he makes it look so easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's just kind of snapping his wrist and it's gone. But anyway, I think Jeff might agree. I think this is probably Machado's best rookie card. If you could just pick one, this is the one that I would go after.
Yeah, and in truth, like I was saying, it's my favorite of his cards altogether.
Yeah, it's great. And if you don't like Machado, you can imagine that he's kind of diving here and he's going to hit the ground. It's probably going to hurt a little bit.
Right, he's going to wreck that shoulder.
Yeah.
Chris LaRufa has a question. If there's an SSP in Topps flagship, will the same SSP be in Chrome?
No.
Almost never does that happen.
Almost never. Occasionally, like back in 2013, like the Freeman Chrome and the Mauer Chrome used the same image that they did in Topps. But lately, like in the last 10 years, I would say never.
Yeah, I
can't off the top of my head, I can't think of a single time.
No.
They reuse images. Unfortunately, Topps does reuse images to a point that is infuriating, but they have not done that lately.
Yeah. Yes. And sometimes the players will overlap, but it'll be a different image.
Yes. And that's where it gets complicated. Like last year, I think we counted it up, Jeff. I want to say it was like 9 different sets had image variations. And some of them had 2 tiers. So, I mean, guys like Michael Harris and Gunnar Henderson, and they're like, And there were complete set variations. Like, it became almost impossible to keep track of what we're looking at.
It is impossible to keep track. And you got to be careful when you're buying too, because an SP or an SSP from the last year or two might not mean the same as it did from prior years, because there were so many fewer sets that had them, and the print run was probably lower in the majority of them.
Yeah. And unfortunately it shows, I did notice that people were just listing a lot of like these image variations, like the complete set chrome variations. Of course, those have parallels, but like dealers were just calling them SSPs.
Yeah,
and you do have to do your research when you're looking at buying these cards. You have to
on eBay as well. Everything's an SSP on eBay.
Yeah. All right. So next up,
real quick, back to, before we go on, Tanner says 2016 Stadium Club has several pitchers batting variations, including Kershaw, Jose Fernandez, Bartolo, etc. So there's a theme going on there.
All right. Yeah. If Zach is still in here, Tanner, thank you very much for that. The info drop right there.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next?
Oh, hold on. Donnie with a question. Is the 2016 Bartolo clone from his home run? I don't know. I like to think it is. That's a really fun card.
If it is, that would be a great card to get autoed if you ever meet him in person.
Yes. I believe there's one on Instagram. Maybe Homer Dome has it. I'm not sure who has it, but I've seen it on Instagram, Jeff. We talked about it maybe like 1 or 2 SSP Thursdays ago. It's a pretty fun card. I want to say it's like a pop 1.
Yeah.
Good luck digging that one up.
Big swing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is Bartolo Colon the worst player to ever hit a home run? I saw someone ask that on Instagram. It's got to be that Braves relief pitcher that hit one in like the 18th inning of that endless game.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Where the announcers were even laughing that he came out there.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's get to what I thought was the single most impressive post of SSP Thursday.
And this got a lot of comments. Look at that.
And rightly so. So this is from our good buddy Short Print a Day. He completed the 2018 Topps Series 1, Series 2 SSP run. And this is just nuts. It's 50 cards and they all have a theme. And when you see these all together, it's all players out on the field with their hands up on some level.
Yeah,
and it's
they're
just
signaling after a hit, gesturing to the dugout, celebrating. It's great to see them all together like that.
Yeah, this is just I could look at pictures like this, and you just notice little things, like as you kind of scroll through, and the grouping here has some incredible cards. Up on the top on this here, we've got Ozzy Albies. Unfortunately, the 2 broken bones this year. Absolutely, someone's got a voodoo doll. We have an Ichiro here with the Marlins. That's pretty awesome. There's a Nolan Arenado that I'm circling. Lindor is down here. Buster Posey on the bottom right. And if we just kind of scroll through the next grouping, there's a lot of cool horizontals in here. Corey Seager fist pumping is great. Oh, there's a Devers rookie is in here. I think he's on the next slide. We got Jose Ramirez right down here for our Jose Ramirez fan. If he's still here, there is an Altuve if you want to throw a dart at something.
Yeah, this alone makes it worth visiting Instagram and checking out Short Print a Day's account.
Because I'm pretty confident, Jeff, no one else has this group of 50. And hopefully PSA gets their set registry up and running by the fall.
Yes, that's what Chris and I have been hoping for, to bring a little more attention to SSPs. Allowing PSA to have that as a registry would be incredible.
Yeah. All right. So here we have, I think, the 10 best. He did a good job of grouping these 10 together. And you can just see the names here are gigantic. Mookie Betts, Clayton Kershaw, Rafael Devers rookie card, Ohtani's rookie card. Arguably, this is his best flagship rookie. He's got a PSA 10 here. I think this is pop 11, 12, Ridiculous. Jeff, something like that.
Ridiculous.
We got Verlander clapping, Pujols pointing up. Of course, the man, Freddie Freeman, waving, as my wife said, oh, he's waving goodbye to Atlanta. And I laughed, and then it happened. Bryce Harper here with, if you get a good look at this card, these are hair goals for any man. Mike Trout, RIP to his knee. And this Aaron Judge card, which I'm sure Jake has to wipe off fairly regularly. It's a really great, the checklist is incredible. If I have one,
Jake does not have kids. That's a reasonable assumption to make based upon this, this amazing collection.
I think what's the amazing thing to me, Jeff, is he has a fiance.
True.
So.
Well, she's impressed by SSP sets. I believe
it could be that this set is what landed her. I don't know her well enough.
It could be. This sealed the deal. Steve says, I really want that JRAM SSP, but it never pops up.
No,
there's a lot on here that rarely pop up.
Yeah. And I want to say there's something kind of interesting and a little bit, the only negative about this set, and it's nothing to do with Jake or how rare the cards are. They're really cool. For whatever reason, Topps just didn't put the gold cups on the image variations in 2018. So like this Devers rookie should have a gold cup. This Aaron Judge card should have a gold cup right here in this dark spot with the wall behind him.
Yeah, it would look great.
For some reason, they didn't do it except for one player. And of course, it's Andrew Benintendi up here in the top in the middle.
Their inconsistency is just so crazy.
I would love to know exactly like the mechanics of how the gold cup would be added or removed. I don't know how it works. That's kind of a shame, but this is really impressive. And Jake, if you're watching, congratulations, buddy.
Congratulations. And Kevin makes a good point here. The collection will definitely pay for part of his fiance's dream wedding. So when you're looking to sell it, I'm sure there'll be a lot of interested buyers lining up.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is an excellent point. But yeah, whatever else Jake does with his life, that he's got this to hang his hat on. So good for him.
Incredible. So Chris, we got a question for you. It is SSP Thursday. There's a lot of people new to the hobby, or at least new to the super short prints idea. Adam says, I'm rather new to the hobby and tired of ripping wax and being let down looking to buy singles. Great. Keep hearing about SPs and SSPs, a specific print run number that each is associated with. Now, we definitely recommend that you check out some of our SSP videos. We have what is a super short print. It gives a good primer on it. But Chris, do you want to give a short answer to this?
Yeah, I mean, the short answer would be, Adam, there aren't really known or established or even like printed print runs. And there's basically a debate. We had this kind of argument in an episode of Spitballing Cards. So I was debating with Teapot. I consider the term SSP to be super short print. And there are people in the hobby that say it means super short printed. So I think it's a noun. Other people say it's an adjective. It doesn't really matter. You can refer to it however you want. But the general idea is that these are cards that have the same number and the same name and the same design. They just have a different image than the base card. So different years, unfortunately, there's no consistent number because Topps is not consistent. So like these, for example, from 2018, Series 1 and 2 are really, really tough. None of these, I think like the Devers might have like 40 or so total at PSA. Ohtani probably has about 35 total. Albie is a little bit less. The big stars, I mean, I think there's about 20 most of these guys, less than 20 for a lot of them. So total print runs probably like, what do you think, Jeff? Like 100, 150?
Maybe.
If we're guessing. But then in 2018 update, they have the Soto rookie, the 2 Ohtani rookies, the 2 Acuna rookies.
Yeah.
And those print runs are significantly higher.
They bumped up the production. Right. So you can't, there's lack of consistency there. And even from that Ortiz that we talked about, the 2016 Ortiz, thinking about how short that print run actually was versus even 2018 or 2018 update.
Yeah. So Adam, like, by the way, also congratulations. There's like a stage of hobby evolution that all of us went through. We all ripped packs and ripped boxes for a while. And we all basically came to the same conclusion that you have come to, which is that it's frustrating. It's kind of fun, but it's a kick in the wallet and a kick in the junk, and you just don't have to do it anymore. Go buy the singles you want is absolutely the way to go. Just do some research. Google like 2018 Topps image variations, 2017 Topps image variations, and get a sense of what they look like. And go from there. Figure out the cards you want to target, the players you're looking for, and take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush into anything because that's when you make mistakes, which Jeff and I can tell you, those can come back and bite you.
Yes, absolutely. So be careful. But yeah, like Chris said, the inconsistency in the pop count or the print run does make it difficult to decide what exactly counts as a super short print versus a short print. I think for the last few years, we've kind of heard the numbers like 300 and 3,000 being thrown around. Chris, is that?
Yeah, but those are sort of like the general numbers, like 3,000 for SPs and 300 for the SSPs. Seems on blowout. We see those numbers kind of thrown around.
Yeah, so just as a rule of thumb for the modern cards, that's about.
Yeah, but it bounced around like. And Dave is saying, for 2017, Series 1 and 2, like the SSPs are really, really tough, like really tough. The Freeman's a pop 1. I think the Judge he was mentioning is like a pop 11, maybe 12. Like it's tough. Yeah. It's really, really tough to find these cards.
Alvin says Jake always stealing SSP Thursday with bangers. Yeah, he outdid himself with this one. And I thought your Kershaw is cool. It is cool. It's just Yeah, it's tough to compete with short print today, but it's fun to see everybody's posts.
Yes. And Alvin, I'm not familiar with what your Instagram handle is, but if yours is Kershaw is the opening day Kershaw, we will get to it. It's on my. We're gonna get to it in a few minutes. We're gonna scroll through quite a few here, but yeah, it's hard to compete with Jake. I mean, his username is short print a day, so he should be at the forefront of this. But anyway,
yeah, and usually is.
Yeah. Andrew Applebaum, actually, I think hits the nail on the head because this is pretty much how Jeff and I look at it. Ripping was our entry point. Now we pretty much buy singles 98% of the time, but we do like to rip Stadium Club because the cards look great. It hasn't been historically very as expensive as other products.
Yeah, that's the hard part now. It was easier to justify ripping wax once in a while when you could buy boxes for $80, $90. Well, then it's like a night out, right? But now I think this year's Topps Chrome price point was $225 for 75 cards. No thanks.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not spending $200 for a Cody Funderbunk rookie auto and a light blue aqua wave refractor of Travis d'Arnaud. Just not going to happen.
Thomas, we get it. I buy singles and rip because I love cards and have a problem. Yes. I mean, that's just the way it is. We get it.
Yeah. Vincent Gonzalez, nail on the head here. Stadium Club is one of the best rips for the price point. Yeah. We got lucky last year when Stadium Club came out, Jeff. Our buddy Ephus Pitch was in town. So you and Ephus Pitch and Short Print a Day and I went out. We got a box. We each got a box. We ripped it. And 4 boxes, not one autograph of a player who was active in the major leagues at the time. And the best card pulled, I believe it was Jeff pulled a pearl white refractor of Cody Senga.
Cody Senga.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, Donnie, you're right. Funderbunk's always catching random strays from Chris.
I just remember that name, but it gets in your head
when she watches. I'll have to think about this, Brandon. If there was one Brewer SSP you could own, what would it be? And do you own it? I don't have a lot of Brewer SSPs. I have some Yelich, but I tell you that Churio from this year, kind of liking that.
The one out of Topps Chrome, it's growing on both of us. We first saw it, we're like, ugh, it's not like he's so fast and so athletic. We're like, hopefully it's him doing something, like maybe his first hit, running down a ball, something like that. And it was just him kind of laughing. Smiling. Yeah. But after a few more views, we kept talking about it. We're like, you know what? Either the other 7 of the other ones are really bad, or this one's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'd have to say for now that is that would be my answer, and I think I will try to own it someday. But he's playing really well now, so the price might keep getting higher.
Yeah. And Jeff, you and I think are both looking forward to whatever Churio's Topps Update Golden Mirror SSP will be. Fingers crossed, that's a cool image. They could do something like with him and Yelich, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, it'll be better than that Jazz Chisholm that we just showed.
Yeah.
Dave here really, I think this breaks it down. You could pull a numbered auto of Caminero out of Topps Chrome, who's got to be one of the top 15 rookies in there, and you're still underwater.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think we looked, there may be 4 or 5 guys whose autos you could pull. Base autos.
It's too much. Oh, okay. Jeff, you and Professor's Dugout should compare Hero collections.
Oh, yes, Professor, we should. Yeah, Hero, that probably was my favorite, now that you mention it. The SSP where he's got his hand up, where it looks like he's kind of talking on the phone. Yeah, sadly, I do have a couple of those.
Hey,
rough time for us Hero fans.
It is. All right, let's bring the mood back up. Sorry.
All right.
With another great opening day SSP we got today. This one came from Seasoned Giants Collection. And we got a shot of Buster Posey.
It's an interesting shot, I got to say.
Yeah, this is a cool shot. The ball is in the air here. It seems like the ball's traveling up almost to get to Posey's glove.
Yeah, I don't know what angle this is taken from, or if they just threw the ball in there afterwards. I don't know.
Hopefully he's not like swinging his glove down to catch it. Jeff and I play a lot. We used to play a ton of softball. We don't play as much now. But we used to play on this league with some older gentlemen, including a first baseman who was like 65, Jeff.
Probably.
Oh God, if he's not watching. So if I missed his age by a lot, it's okay.
He's probably our age right now.
Oh God, no. No, he was probably like, we'll say late 50s because he could still run around. So we'll say late 50s, but he played first base for us and he had a habit of like snatching at the ball as he caught it, you know? And we picked up a shortstop who was like 23 and was playing college baseball 2 years ago. And he used to just air out these throws across the diamond. And it was just a matter of time before our first baseman, took like an 88-mile-an-hour throw right to the temple.
His poor head ballooned up. Yeah, I was lucky he didn't kill him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he actually has he's on television. He has he has a TV show that he had to film all week with what looked like a golf ball pushing itself out of his brain.
Yeah, the poor makeup folks that were trying to cover that up.
Yeah, they were trying to like hide the shadow. I don't know. I somewhere I have a screen cap of him on TV with it. I should see if I can find it. But
yeah,
he recovered fine. He doesn't chew a lot of foods these days, but otherwise he's completely fine.
Downey, you're right. Nothing soft about softballs. I took one off the forehead, split my eye open, had to get it all stitched up. Nothing soft about those.
No.
Okay. But Posey, yes, hopefully he's not about to take one off the forehead here.
Yeah, look, I think he's gonna snatch this one. I did notice that Posey has some nice hips here. I couldn't help, Jeff. Maybe it's the fact that I've got bourbon again, but I am noticing Posey's hips here are definitely drawing my eye. So we should move on to the next card.
All right. Yes, we didn't quite get to glutes yet, but his hips are getting close.
I mean, we're getting closer and closer. All right, this one comes. I believe this gentleman was in our chat. Hopefully, he's still here. But Clean Cards 5 is another one of those Instagram collectors, Jeff, that kind of shares our near exact tasting cards. So I love seeing the stuff that he posts. Yes. But this is a really cool low angle Albert Pujols shot. The blue sky, the monster behind him.
You could have this guy. Yeah, what a cool shot.
Yep. PSA could have called this anything. But if you can zoom in, if you can read what they wrote, PSA calls it gray uniform.
Well, so this is SGC. Did PSA also call?
Yes, I'm sorry. This is SGC. I don't know. I don't have one of these in a PSA slab, unfortunately. I'm not sure what PSA calls it, but the gray uniform is not telling the story.
But this would be such a cool series to do, Chris.
Yes,
low angle shots of players. I would love to see 4 or 5 of the biggest stars in the game with similar shots. You can line up next to each other. So this is the kind of series they need to get. That's great. It's a great photo.
Yeah. And you would think it wouldn't, if you scan Getty Images, you can find low angle shots of pretty much every player.
Sure.
But this is great. It makes him look bigger than the light tower. This is awesome.
Yeah.
The more I look at this, Jeff, the more I need one of these cards.
Yeah. I think we got to find one of those, and let's find, Tanner to the rescue. Tanner, PSA calls it throwing. So throwing versus gray jersey. Man,
I guess throwing is slightly better because this isn't even a uniform. That's like that's like a dry fit.
Yeah. Well, Chris, speaking of uniforms, Jorge's got an idea for you for a series: the low angle shots with the new Fanatics pants.
I like it.
That would have to come with an NSFW disclaimer on it.
Low angle with the new pants. Man, they would either be really popular or not popular at all.
Yeah.
But I think we both know that short print a day would complete the run.
He would have had that to his 2018.
Without a doubt.
My favorite card on IG today.
Yeah. The color on this is pretty tremendous.
Yeah.
So Clean Cards, Tanner, great stuff.
Beautiful. Jeremy has a comment here. Started an SPs collection featuring players in bubblegum. Mason Wynn has a good golden mirror one. What a great collection.
Okay.
He's got a very well-known card with big bubble.
I have a recommendation. There's one on eBay right now, actually, that I've been looking at. But for your collection, Paul Goldschmidt, 2017. He's getting bazooka gum dumped on him after probably hitting a walk-off or something. And I believe PSA calls it gum bucket.
They do not.
I believe they do. Now, I'm not saying anything else, but that is on. It's on eBay right now. There's a raw copy, and
that's a great spin-off of the gum collection.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's definitely that should be a card in your collection.
Yeah.
All right.
Real quick, Roger. I told you, Chris. This is what I thought. I says, thanks for showing my account. Raj is short for Roger. I thought it was Raj.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why that didn't occur to me, Jeff. You were right. Yeah. Plus, my dad's name is Roger. You think I would have put that together?
I thought your dad's name was Roger, but maybe just nobody calls him Raj, I guess.
Yeah. Oddly enough, my mom does. I don't know why I didn't. I think it was just I was so excited to have my Jack Daniels back that I'm not putting things together the way maybe I used to.
Get it. For Jeremy, Kershaw has a nice chrome SP with bubble gum.
I'm trying to think of it. Can't picture it, but okay. So next up, and this gentleman is in the chat. I want to say his name was Adam, but like I said, the Jack Daniels is back. So this is easily a top 5 Clayton Kershaw image.
That's awesome. I know it's tough. Is there any way to zoom in on that picture?
I think so. Hold on.
The card is a little small, but that is such an incredible card.
I appear to be zooming out.
It's kind of just zooming around.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. I don't think that's gonna work for me. Hold on.
Well, go check out his page. What's the page again, Chris?
661 Collectibles. Please go check this one out.
Yeah, that's Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin. I said Adam. God bless.
Well, it's close. You had the A. There are a lot of people in the chat.
That's true.
What a great image.
Yeah, this is cool. And upon like multiple viewings of this card, it's called Mound Celebration, which I can get behind.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not bad. I don't know who this is behind Kershaw, behind him to the right, but this dude is like 4 feet off the ground.
He's got some ups.
That is an impressive jump.
Got some ups.
Yeah, but I think I was talking to Alvin briefly on Instagram today. We were trying to come up with other. I said it was like a top 5 image, and he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, you think there's 4 better?" So, I just didn't want to say. I didn't want to say it was number 1 right away. But it's awesome.
Of all time. Awesome. Oh, Alvin says that's Andre Ethier.
Oh, it's Ethier. Okay. All right. Really cool card. Alvin, congrats on picking this one up.
I believe Alvin said it's a pop 2 in there.
Yes, in his caption there, it's a pop 2. And these 2015 opening day stuff, like I think opening day started doing this in like 2013, but people just weren't. The hobby wasn't as big then as it is now, Jeff. So those cards just don't.
The hobby wasn't as big. This was a product specifically aimed at kids, low cost product.
Yep.
A lot of those cards just got thrown away.
Yeah. This card is amazing. Again, congratulations on having it, and having it in a PSA 10 makes it all the better.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Really, really cool. All right. So
Alvin says gemmed it myself, which is cool. Alvin, if you're let us know where you got it. If you pulled it or if you bought it, if it was an eBay purchase, bought it at a show. But that's great that you gemmed it.
Maybe a garage sale find.
You're right. Somebody offered it to you at your own garage sale.
Oh my God. By the way, if you've never had a garage sale, I think it's something every American should do at least at one point, just so you can see like just how awful some people can be. Like we had one when we moved. Like
I remember when you had that one. Yeah.
Oh my God. I after an hour, my wife, she didn't say anything. She just went inside. And it took me like, after like 20, 25 minutes, I'm like, she's gone. Like, I didn't say anything. She just left. I was stuck out there. Thankfully, I did have some drinks with me. And after a while, like you just start feeling comfortable being as rude to people as they're being to you. And it is satisfying to tell someone to just get the hell out of your property. Like just get out of here. It feels pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Somebody's mom that Chris said that to.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to buy, I forget what it was. I think she was trying to buy like actually I sold some Braves jerseys. And she was trying to buy, she asked me like 50 cents for one. I was just like, get out of here. All right. Homer Dome. If you do not follow Homer Dome cards on Instagram, I highly recommend it. He's got some really incredible super short prints in image variations, and he will frequently just out of the blue post cards that you've absolutely never seen before. And this Jose Bautista from 2017 Stadium Club, Jeff, I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, what the heck? So he's got his cigar and his goggles, so evidently celebrating a series victory.
Yep. Yeah. And this is just really cool. I mean, Jose Bautista is pretty polarizing. But if you're a Blue Jays fan or you're a set collector, I mean, good luck finding this card.
Yeah. Cigar in mouth.
Yeah. He mentions in his description here that it's one of the very few PSA cards, PSA slabs that mentions tobacco use in its.
Well, yeah, you were talking earlier about Dinosaur maybe only appearing on that Jose Fernandez card. Cigar, I don't believe appears too many places on a PSA slab. So. And
Probably
I see this is pop 1.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure. The SSP, like people weren't really, I think Homer Dome has probably been collecting these. as long, if not longer, than most people. So,
oh, M. Parsons is trying to stir up trouble in the chat. She doesn't like the description cigar in mouth, so she's asking where else would the cigar be?
That's a fair question. Why did they need to add in mouth? Is his base card him holding a cigar in his hand?
They just couldn't put with cigar.
Yeah, that's a good. Why does it have to say in mouth? That's a great question, actually.
And Donnie says we do basically one every year now. Might have to. This is garage sales. If awesome cards keep showing up, I don't blame you. If people are going to keep coming to you with cards like that Pujols, I would keep doing a garage sale as well.
Yeah, can you call it like a garage buy and you just put up a sign and sell me your crap?
Buy any sort of baseball cards.
Yeah, I can't imagine. If someone had come to our garage sale and was like, "Hey, you're selling some of this junk. Could I bring other old sports equipment?" I'd be like, "Get the hell out of my driveway."
You're selling some DVDs. Can you want to be one of this barrel of DVDs?
My goodness. But yeah, Homer Dome cards, definite follow. If you don't follow him, please check him out. You're going to see many cards that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And that's always fun. All right. Next up, we got our good buddy Ephus Pitch posting a Gypsy Queen.
I've never seen this card before he posted it.
Yeah. So these are cool. Gypsy Queen did image variations in like 13, 14, and 15, I think. If Tanner or Ben are in the chat, they can correct my years. But in 2013, a lot of the ones they use had multiple teammates. So like there's like hugging, celebrating, or here we've got Zimmerman and Harper standing for the national anthem. Gypsy Queen's like a cool little niche product, Jeff. And these are great. If you're a player collector, this is something to look into.
It is. Does he talk at all about what sort of print run we got on those variations during those years?
There's less than 10 of these Bryce Harpers at PSA. And he writes, Ephus says, while print runs are not known, they must be less than 100 given the graded pop counts.
Okay.
But I mean, It's also safe to assume that people are generally finished ripping 2013 Topps Gypsy Queen.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a rise in those populations.
No, but Donnie, if you're still with us, when you go through that box, look for any Gypsy Queen stuff because it's interesting, especially the older stuff, and there might be some image variations in there.
Yeah.
Now, what I thought was funny is kind of early in the day, Ephus Pitch posted this particular Bryce Harper card, and I think he felt pretty good about it. But our good Instagram buddy Ginter Wood Minis had a fantastic hold my beer moment, and he went ahead and posted multiple Gypsy Queen image variations.
Yeah, look at that belt tray where everybody's trying to touch his head.
I hit straight up. I'd never seen this Beltray card before, ever. This card is great. Obviously, he just hit a walk-off, and yeah, he's covering his head. This is perfect.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you want an SSP to be. It tells you that he did something great and shows you part of his personality as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Ginter with Minis has a couple of these. He doesn't have the whole set, but here we have Tanaka. And who is this? Daniel Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Who... It's always worth noting. It looks like he took a shit on the front of his pants, but it's worth noting that he had one of the greatest postseason runs of all time. What did he homer in like 5 straight postseason games?
Yes, I remember. Yes, he's often talked about in the Chris postseason rants.
Yeah, he and Matt Carpenter, I think, are largely responsible for any sleepless nights that Clayton Kershaw has. And then here we've got, Javi Baez. Sorry, Teapot, if you happen to be watching this at some point. And, of course, everyone's favorite, by favorite, I mean least favorite Major League Baseball player, Anthony Rendon.
He actually looks like he's having fun. When did that happen?
He's smiling. Maybe the game's over, Jeff, and he gets to go home and stop playing.
So BFG says, you don't like Bob Ross, but you like Gypsy Queen, Chris?
Yes, I will take Gypsy Queen over Bob Ross, but only like these super rare things. And because they're older.
And Vincent says it was 6 straight for Daniel Murphy.
6 straight games. That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Was that a contract year, by the way?
I don't know if it was that year or the next year.
If so, that 6-game streak probably got him an extra 50%.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeff, whenever there's someone who sort of like randomly outperforms everything they've ever done before, there's always one stupid team that'll step up to give them money. And it's either the Angels or, in this case, for Daniel Murphy, I think it was the Rockies.
That's right. You can count on those two.
Absolutely. All right, Jorge, if you're still here, buddy, want to talk about this Manny Machado 2017 Topps SSP that you posted, posing in black t-shirt.
Good Manny Machado card.
Yeah. Yeah. And the description is a little, I mean, do we need posing in? Couldn't it just say black t-shirt?
Posing as opposed to what they usually do with these cards. Yeah, I don't think they needed posing.
Yeah. I will say two things about Machado. One, very impressive arms. This dude can do some damage in the gym, and I can see maybe why he had some tennis elbow to deal with.
Yeah.
But he should probably wear hats most of the time. It's just
BFG says Manny in his black shirts. Yeah, we just were talking about that horizontal.
That's right.
Jorge would have used the description looking godly. Also, flexing bicep would be an option here.
Yeah, maybe that's why they said posing, because he was like, "Oh, you're taking my picture." Maybe he did a couple quick
just get
curls.
Yeah, get a few curls in. Let me grip the bat extra tight. All
right, Jorge. I can totally support a completely irrational love of a baseball player. So it's always fun to see your Machado post. And
yeah,
it's cool to see fans really get behind their players.
What's the pop on something like this? Did Jorge mention in the?
Did he mention in the comments? He did not mention it. Off the top of my head,
seeing this, so
it's got to be low. 2017 Topps were pretty tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jorge, if you know the pop, please share it with us.
Yeah, great card.
Yep. All right, up next we've got Cards and Dreams, all with Z's.
Oh,
and yeah, in 2020 update, there's a little run. I think it was about 10. Of like MVP caliber, like really big names, all with the back of their jerseys.
Yeah.
Like Harper, Acuna, Trout, Judge. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, other ones that I've seen, and I'm immediately drawing a blank. But there's some really, really cool cards. This is great. Again, Harper's hair is impressive.
Oh, he's got the flow for sure.
Yeah. You can't hate on it. But yeah, this is a really cool card, and I haven't seen anyone put all the back of jerseys together. But I was
just gonna say that would be a fun set to see completed.
Yeah, I wish they were all either horizontal or vertical.
Yeah,
but I think a bit of a mix in there. But they look amazing.
Have enough where you could have a one shot with the horizontal and one shot with the vertical. I'm trying to remember what the other ones look like, but
yeah, I mean, I can't think. I think there's maybe 10 or 12 with just the back of jerseys.
Yeah, the back of jersey. It's
cool.
I don't know. Yeah, I love that shot. I love the back of a jersey when you could see the stadium. You see them running out to their position. Sometimes they're leaving the dugout. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, Acuna's. No one posted Acuna's today, but he just homered, so he's doing like that bird kind of. His arms are outstretched as he jogs towards first base. I will say, read Bryce Harper. It is insane how streaky this guy is, Jeff.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it was like a few weeks ago, we were talking about him in the same conversation as Shohei Ohtani, possibly making an MVP run.
But he just had a terrible month of July, but it's behind him. Hopefully he can pick it up again. And that series against the Yankees, that was as bad a 3-game set as I've ever seen Bryce Harper have.
Yeah, you said you saw a lot of his at-bats. He was hitting into double plays.
He was 0 for 13. I feel like if he didn't strike out, he hit into a double play. Like those were pretty much the two things he did. It was brutal. Because he's a tremendous player, but everyone goes through these stretches, Yeah. Awesome card.
PSA, it's inconsistent. Surprise, surprise. There's inconsistency in the hobby and with PSA. So sometimes the horizontal cards are flipped the other way, and sometimes they're flipped this way. And I know people that are very anal retentive about their collections and displaying them, especially, can get upset with that.
All right, Jeff, hold on. I'm just seeing two comments. We're gonna have to go back to this Machado card real quick.
Okay. Oh,
all right. Coda Collectibles is not referring to this Machado card, but Kevin Morales says this Machado should have been called Stroking Wood, which is funny. But I think the best title goes to Zach, who would have called this one Ears Out. This is pretty great.
Oh, that's cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel, but it's funny, so I think it's okay. Plus, Machado's kind of been a jerk to a lot of people, so I think it's okay to give him some shit periodically.
Yeah, he does deserve it. Yeah.
All right, so back to this, Harper. I think that's what Coda Collectible said. Cool shot. I feel comfortable saying he's referring to this.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Right. While you're looking, Chris, Wade's got a question on flip stock out of 5, correct? Yeah, I just think it never really caught on, and they're not numbered, so I don't know. Not a big fan of the flip.
That's
stock.
Heritage, right? Flip stock.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that love it. Heritage has a really great, intense, passionate, like collector following, kind of like Ginter does. But for me and for Jeff, that's not something that we go after. I don't know.
No, I had a Jose De Leon rookie flip stock that I got in a break when I first got back in the hobby in 2018. And I thought it was great. Yeah, it was out of 5. I think I ended up selling it for 75 cents. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If we could put a Make It Rain GIF up, I would do that right now.
Jorge says that my sister calls him Elfie. So we fight on a daily basis. That must be tough, Jorge, with your sister hating on your favorite player.
That's tough. That is tough. Machado has been heating up. Like the whole Padres team is fascinating, Jeff. A team doesn't make the playoffs. They lose Juan Soto, Blake Snell, and Josh Hader, and now they're doing better.
Yeah.
It just shows. I think there's a thing about chemistry. There is something to chemistry. And I think there's something to Bob Melvin being gone too. I never thought he was a good fit for that group. But they're coming together, even with Tatis on the shelf. Have they some sort of reaction in his leg?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is
either. But Dylan Cease's been pitching great. I mean, that team could be dangerous.
Yeah, I'd love to see Manny heat up, have a huge August.
Yeah, he's on his way. So ATL Jeff Black points out that there is if you're unfamiliar, I think most of our viewers would probably know. In 2024 Topps Chrome, there's 6 cards of the guys that won the MVP, the Cy Young, and the Rookie of the Year. And they have these like weird sort of almost like wheat looking
it's like
thing behind them.
Crowns.
Yeah. So they're all numbered to 23. So they're incredibly rare. And Acuna's first official sale, I think, just happened at 528. And ATL Jeff Black is saying he wishes they used his image variation. It's just they use the same image and just kind of change the background of it. So he's running. It's a cool card. I don't know. I kind of would like one, but that seems like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And down the road, it could be tough to explain what it is. I don't know. The image variation still bugs me because it's not quite right. It's close.
And I think you just hit on something there that if you have to explain what it is, it's tough. And I think that's what people were talking about with the flip stock. Tomahawk says, I love Heritage. It's hard to pull cool stuff. And Heritage has so many variations and color swaps, position variations, things like that. But once you have to explain it to people, then it kind of loses some of the cachet. So
it does a little bit. And I like Heritage too. I like looking at the cards, but I bought one hobby box with my dad down in Charlotte, and we ripped it. So you're guaranteed one auto or relic. So it's like buying a Topps hobby box. And our relic was a Javi Baez bat relic. So that's it. I'm never ripping Heritage again. Like we know damn well that bat never touched a ball. He probably swung it 15 times, Jeff, but there's no way it touched the ball.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Sorry to say. We've got a little argument in the chat, Chris, going on.
Oh, great. Who's M. Parsons arguing? Who's she baiting?
It's not M. Parsons. So Jorge's conspiracy theory, what you're talking about with the Padres, is that Juan Soto is a bad teammate. Interesting. And John and Dad Sports Cards responded with, I've watched Soto every game this year, and I would say he's the straw that stirs the drink. So whose side would you be on in this particular battle?
They might not be on opposite sides. You know, that there's probably something to Juan Soto, and maybe it fits in a clubhouse or maybe it doesn't. You know, there were a lot of reports about that Machado sort of controlled, or he should be in charge of that clubhouse. He is the veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's up to him to set the tone. And if that tone doesn't mesh with whatever Soto's doing, there could be some headbutting there. But from what we've seen, Judge and Soto seem to get along really, really well. And like in the Yankees, I'm sure Judge is the fact he's the captain. So, I mean, he's in charge of the clubhouse. Whatever Soto's attitude, personality is, maybe it meshes with some people and not with the other. I'm not going to say he's a good or bad teammate. Some people just don't get along with each other for whatever reason.
Yeah, and there were a number of issues with that team, with the Padres team last year, and maybe there was they knew Soto wasn't going to be there for the long term. That could have played a role as well. But yeah, you're right. There's probably some truth on both sides. Vincent talks about Heritage black chrome refractors are always nice. Yes, I don't think Heritage. Chris and I love a few things from Heritage: red ink autos, black chrome refractors, gold, which we finally got our hands on one recently, which is pretty great to see in hand. So they do a lot of great things, but they also get way off track with some of their variations, I think, and it makes it hard to describe what they are.
They do some of my best eBay searches, Jeff, are for Heritage dual autos. That's some of the greatest stuff out there.
Good call.
They're all on card, and they're 25 or less. Sometimes there's triple autos. There's like oh God, who is it? The Braves have a great triple auto. I want to say it's like Chipper, Hank Aaron, and Acuna, something like that. I've seen it come up once and it disappeared like within the hour. But those autos are fantastic. They've got some great stuff, but your odds of pulling it are so. And I do like the fact they have retail, so it is actually accessible. And it's a fun rip because they look good.
But a lot of it probably still pays to go after singles.
Yeah, I agree. But if you are going to rip a retail box, that 75 design for this year looks great. Yeah. It's very colorful. It's a fun rip. Even my mom got kind of interested in the cards. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't see gray. She just sees like bright green and red.
He's those big colors. G-Dubs Collect, first time catching this live. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate the support. If anybody else first time here, please click that subscribe. Chris and I go live every Thursday night. We also go live on other occasions when news comes up or we have a PSA return, for instance. So please click that subscribe and notification bell, and then you'll be notified when we do go live.
Yeah, this is interesting. Kevin says Machado and Soto were kind of like Kobe and Shaq. I mean, I don't have any knowledge of the inner workings of the clubhouse. My favorite San Diego Padre clubhouse moment, Jeff and I talked about it a lot, was Machado laying into Tatis when Tatis almost got ejected when they were in that fight for the last wild card spot 2 years ago. And he started arguing a called third strike, and Machado was like, no. He even said, like, you're the best player on this team. We need you in the game. Like, stop, like, Then there's a lot of profanity.
To us, that was when Machado kind of showed that he had matured, and instead of being the immature guy on the team, he was taking that leadership role seriously. And I kind of thought that would lead them to some big success last year, and it never really did. So who knows? I mean, honestly, the fact that they weren't better last year is still shocking. And if they do get a wild card spot this year, I don't know. I'm going to lay a lot of the blame at Bob Melvin's feet. I'm just saying, like, the manager has got to be able to get control of the team. ATL Jeff Black. Yeah. I mean, Soto could be really arrogant or cool. I think it's all, in the eye of the beholder. And yes, John and Dad Sports Cards. If you're a Yankee, if Judge likes you, then you're golden. And if he doesn't, then you're Josh Donaldson. You can get the hell out of the clubhouse. Yeah, the fact that he does love them makes me more confident that he will sign there long term, which, as we've talked about many times, that would be the biggest boost to his card values.
All right, hold on real quick here. Matt says, hey guys, just showed up. I ran into this the other day looking up Jarren Duran SP. Did not know they were Target exclusive SPs. How do you feel about them? I don't know what these are.
I don't either.
I know Costco has like exclusive SPs. I would stay away from those. My personal.
I mean, are we talking of different borders? Because we know we had the Walmart blue borders. We had the Target red.
No, he says they're in chrome. I don't know. I don't know what that is, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I would generally, I don't know. I wouldn't stray in that way. Jarren Duran has some really cool stuff. He's got an opening day SSP in the last year of opening day in 2022. He's got a cool flagship SSP, and he's the Stadium Club stuff. I think he's in the shopping cart. I think that was the year that the Red Sox did the shopping cart celebration. So he's got some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to go into the Target parallel world. But anyway, just my 2 cents. If you like the image, then you like the image. And that's okay. All right. So while we are talking about Aaron Judge, Jeff, let's just show this. This came from KC Cards IG.
Yeah.
And this is I mean, you tell me what you think about this one.
Well, we did a judge video recently, and we talked about this card, and we've talked about it extensively. It probably is his best rookie card out there.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, just the statuesque pose, looking out at the field. He's almost got his sword in the scabbard, ready to go do battle or something. So yeah, I think it's a great image. It's extremely rare, hard to find, and yeah, I loved seeing it show up today.
Yeah. This card, if I worked at PSA, well, first of all, I'd gem all of our cards. But
what are they calling it, by the way?
What is that?
What are they calling it, by the way?
They call it bat underarm.
Bat underarm, yeah.
Which is fair. I would call this one just focus.
Yeah.
Because he looks like he is absolutely locked in. And yeah, I like this card.
Which is fun to see, especially considering this was taken when he was really young. I mean, as a rookie, no doubt.
Well, his really young as a rookie was Juan Soto's like 6th year.
Excellent point. Yes. I guess I shouldn't have said young. I should have said inexperienced, but he sure looks focused and ready to hit.
But yeah, if you like Aaron Judge and you're looking to put money into one Aaron Judge rookie card, I think it's either a 13 Bowman Chrome auto or it's this. Those are the two that jump out to Jeff and I.
Yeah.
But hey, we have been wrong before.
Chris, Donnie's making a good point. If you gemmed a card, you knew you didn't deserve it. Like if you own PSA, it would haunt you when you looked at it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Officially, that'll be my response.
Well, then you would just have to sell it.
Right, exactly. You just have to move on from it. Okay, next up, Steven, our sports MD, he's frequently with us. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. Sports MD cards shared this really cool Seiya Suzuki image of him in the cornfield.
Yeah.
From 2023. Now, I don't know. I had this card up. I was looking at it. And my wife looked at it and she said, "Is that racist?" And I said, like, I didn't think so. So I don't know. Is there anything with like Japanese people and corn that's like a stereotype of some kind, Jeff?
Was she implying that it should be racist?
I don't know. It threw me.
Yeah, I don't.
I've been puzzled about it ever since.
I don't know. Not anything I would have thought of. Maybe if any of our Asian American viewers are in the chat or watching and can tell us that why this might or might not be racist.
I don't know.
It's a great image. It's really cool.
I'm assuming this is from the Field of Dreams game.
For anybody who's of our age, when Field of Dreams came out when we were kids, it's great. I love the fact that baseball has embraced the Field of Dreams idea again, and seeing it on cards is great.
Yeah, it's really cool to see those games on those fields or on that field. And yeah, we talked about, was it 2 weeks ago? I think you were a little bit late, Jeff. We talked about Field of Dreams a bit. We were talking about dads and baseball and sports cards. Field of Dreams came up quite a bit. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to get all the way through, but it's great. Yeah. And if you haven't read the book is really good too. And it's
Shoeless Joe. Yeah.
Shoeless Joe. And it's very different. The book is different in the movie, and it's pretty amazing. A lot of times, like you'll this is way off topic, but you'll see a movie and it's like adapted screenplay, and you think, well, they just copied and pasted. But how the screenwriter pulled that movie out of that book is remarkable.
It is. That's truly good point.
But anyway, neither here nor there. Really cool Seiya Suzuki card.
Steven said maybe she thought it was rice. And Lincoln also agreed that racist would be if it was rice patties.
I don't know. That's pretty tall. Tall rice.
Donnie says, as part Japanese person, I wouldn't think so, only if it was rice. Okay. Well, I mean.
All right. Well, I feel better. I feel like I wasn't missing something, and I'm glad Topps didn't accidentally do something bad.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think the fact that they're embracing the Field of Dreams ethos, and especially putting it on an SSP, that's great.
Yes. All right. Next up, another good buddy of ours, Ben Orr 14 Sports Cards, is posting his 22 Topps Chrome Shohei Ohtani SSP. I want to talk about this card briefly because it's super rare. And generally, I don't want to speak for Jeff, but I like my SSPs to be something happening on the field, like a milestone or a famous moment, even a hat tip to the crowd, or like Guerrero holding up his first hit ball. I like stuff like that. So when I first saw this card, I'm like, it's Shohei Ohtani in a suit. This is not what I want on my Shohei Ohtani cards. But a closer look, Jeff, And here he is holding up the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. So this is a milestone. This is a pretty, I hate to use the word again, historic moment. Like that award's has been given out less than 20 times.
Yes,
in the history
it's
of baseball.
very singular, and he's in front of the World Series banner. So maybe this year we'll actually see him play in the World Series.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I feel like putting him in front of that banner is a little bit of a slap in the face, given that he was playing for the Angels. But
well, it just shows how important they thought this was, right? They announced it during the World Series, gave him this award. Yeah, in general, I agree with you, but I think it is a pretty singular accomplishment. So I don't mind that they do it. What I do mind more about Topps is that they can never center these correctly, and most of them are so far off center.
Yep,
it's ridiculous. This centering actually looks reasonable, which is
2022 Topps Chrome was like I think this is when the changeover was happening, and maybe they just didn't care at all. But I feel like 90% of these cards are way off centered. They're just surfaces are dimpled and scratched to hell and back. So an 8 on this, I'd be thrilled, and I think Ben was pretty excited too, just to have this one. Print run, if you do the math, the print run is exactly 100 because the math worked out to like the orange speckles or something were printed to the same number, and there's more there than there were. Anyway, there's 100 of these that exist. But the big rookie was Wander Franco, Jeff. So not many people are ripping 2022 Topps Chrome anymore.
No, not many. So I don't know what the pop is on this, but we're probably not going to see a lot of them come to light.
Yeah, I'd say whatever the pop is now, it's probably not going to change a ton moving forward. Hold on, I wanted to you want to tell us while I'm looking for this post, tell me how you feel about the Mike Trout situation, because I was going to show a Mike Trout card that was posted.
Yeah, and then that obviously came up a lot in the chat earlier on. It sounds like Mike Trout tore his meniscus. Did we determine if it was the same knee, if it was the other knee? I was joking that it might be a new body part that he managed to hurt, because he seems to find all of these body parts to hurt. But it's really unfortunate and really frustrating as both a fan of baseball and a collector of Mike Trout cards. It's very frustrating to see it again and have him get so close to coming back. And I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to be the same player, if he's got to just really trim down, take that toll of carrying that weight off his body. It seems like his body can't handle it. Okay, Lincoln says it's the same knee. So it's I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I felt like 5 years ago, I thought his game would age really well, that he would slowly stop stealing bases, but he'd hit, he'd still play defense. And then when that left, he'd still hit. And now I just don't know. He can't play center field anymore. You got to get him in the corner, maybe DH him. I don't know. It's I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. And I don't know. It's sad.
It's extremely sad. And someone was asking us
part of the meniscus, Lincoln says.
Okay. Someone was asking us earlier about if we feel similar to when we watch Griffey just continually break down like in his 30s. And there's definitely a similarity. I mean, it's just brutal because Trout's a guy that I think everyone roots for. And he just cannot stay on the field. And when he showed up in spring training, he looked like he was a linebacker. So maybe I don't know what his issue is, but maybe he needs to drop some weight. He needs to just cut the muscle back.
Yeah.
But you're right. He stays in center field. That's got to be it. No more center field.
Yeah.
He's going to have to DH some.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Black, you're right. He still has to run if he DHs. And last time he got hurt running from second to third, tore a calf muscle. So there's no
jogging from second to third.
Yeah.
That was the worst one. That one. Yeah. That one I still think about. All right. I can't find, for some reason, like the link isn't working. So I'm just going to show it here. This card came from Trout Collector 5 on Instagram. It's another Gypsy Queen 2013. And it's him with a Trout with a teammate. I can't quite make out who that is. They're celebrating something. I maybe this is one of like the 55 games the Angels won back in 2012. I don't know, but really cool card, extremely rare. And unfortunately, like I don't know. He's not these milestones we assumed he was going to hit, Jeff. He's just never going to hit.
No, he's never going to hit those milestones. So he's never going to be that inner circle Hall of Famer with the big round numbers. He's done enough already to be in the Hall of Fame and have a great career. But
yeah, he's going to be one of the, I was his that flagship update card. I said it was going to be under $500 by the end of this year. It's going lower. It's got to go lower. It might be a $300 card by January.
Man. And then I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, the pop is just too high, and at this point, there's no fire behind him right now. No hype behind him.
No,
which is too bad.
So if you have his cards like I do, what do? You just have them. Yeah.
Yeah. We have three. Jeff and I share 3 Trout cards: the Chrome SSPs and that update SSP in 2016, and that's where we are. And those are rare enough. I'm thrilled to have them. You know, maybe in 2 years they would have cost us less than they cost us to buy them or acquire them in a trade. But I'm certainly not going after any more Trout cards. I don't know what the dip is, though. Would be the question. Did you buy the dip in this offseason, or is it just all a dip from now on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a dip. ATL Jeff Black says Trout cards won't hold the value Griffey does if he's pretty much done. Yeah, and what does he come back as? A guy that hits 25 homers and bats 225?
As a left fielder, that's not great.
No.
And what really stinks, Jeff, is the thing we talked about a lot in the offseason, how we hoped he was going to get traded.
Right.
That's off the table. Probably forever. He's stuck there forever.
Yeah. Probably forever, just because of that contract. Nobody's going to want to take any of that on.
No, and that's to me, that's the worst part. Like, he's just rotting there.
Jorge, I appreciate that. Yes, for anybody who didn't see my stories, I like to try to pick out particular fitting song choices for all the SSPs. So if you run through my stories, you will see or hear that as well. Thanks, Jorge.
Jeff has an incredible song catalog in his head. It's very impressive. I have Simpsons quotes, and Jeff has like 80s rock music.
What would be funny is if you had a Simpsons quote for every one of these SSPs that you just was a fitting quote that you'd put on there. Maybe 1 month you'll have to try that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would end with carpal tunnel in both hands. Like, I'd be on my phone like way, way, way too much. And already today was brutal. There's a lot of phone time today, Jeff.
And if people didn't know what you were doing, everybody would be offended that you're commenting on their card.
You're right.
Oh, it's a quote.
Yeah, the quotes would not make any sense. All right, so let's talk about a player who's happier. Brings us a bit of joy. This card comes from Bubblegum Blowing Champ. This is Cedane Rafaela's Golden Mirror SSP rookie out of Series 1. This is one of the ones that Jeff and I highlighted. We did a video on our favorite Golden Mirror SSPs out of Series 1. And this card is just really, really cool. All the cameras, the microphones, and Topps blurs everything but Rafaela. This is just a fantastic card.
Yeah, kudos to the photographer on this one. They really isolated the target, and you can see the joy on his face. It's a great card. Oh yeah, and he's just been playing better and better and better and better. Yeah, it's funny. The Red Sox are kind of building a fun team to watch with this mix of young guys and guys even like Tyler O'Neill staying healthy and finding his stride, mixing in with Devers. It's fun. Yeah, I'm not ready to give Kyan Bloom any credit, but that team is on the upswing, and there's some really interesting offensive pieces. They're doing all this. It's worth noting without Tristan Casas, who should be due back sometime in August. Yeah, good point. And it's kind of also interesting. I feel like the Yankees and Red Sox are building rosters for the other team's park. Like, the best young players on the Red Sox, the Duran, Devers, and Casas, are all left-handed. And the best players on now they got Soto, but I mean, the Yankees were just like a bunch of hulking right-handed sluggers. So they need to switch ballparks. Stantons of the world. Yeah. Although I gotta say, the amount of shots that Devers is hitting over the monster opposite field, it's impressive. Yes. Yeah. He definitely looks like he was working on it, but yeah, the Red Sox are a fun team to watch. They score runs. Yoshida's really turned it on the last month. Has he? I haven't seen anything with Yoshida. Yeah, they have a really interesting team, and not a ton of dead money. I mean, next year I guess they have Giolito and Story, but other than that, so I'm curious. I would say the Red Sox might be a dark horse to sign Guerrero after 2025. And man, that would be a real interesting fit. That would be a great fit
because he's been playing some third base for Toronto. So he could come to Boston and they could have that DH spot sort of for him, Devers, and Casas, and rotate Guerrero around.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. A Devers 2, Guerrero 3, Casas 4. That could be real nasty.
Yeah.
That green monster would get dented pretty regularly. Okay.
Chris, do you have any thoughts on the restamped numbered MVP SSP cards from the previous year?
I'm going to make 0 attempts to purchase them. I don't hate them. Like, they're not bad. I don't know. I just don't really care about them, if that makes sense. Now, there are supposedly autos, though. That would be interesting to me.
Yeah.
But just a stamped card from last year that's stamped MVP, that doesn't really do much for me. But there are some autos. I know Acuna has autos. I don't think Ohtani does. But Acuna does. I haven't seen any. I think they're redemptions is what I saw online, but I haven't seen any come up. That's something I'd be interested in.
Steve says the Jays not trading Vlad. Yeah, well, we'll see, right? So he's got.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they feel next July when if he's doing this again and they're not in playoff contention, they're going to be stuck with a because I don't know. He could surprise us and sign this offseason, but it just seems like same thing I'd say about Max Fried. If they were going to sign, they would have signed. So I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know if Vlad wants to test the market or it could be interesting because if he finishes really strong, then we'll see what kind of offer he gets to extend the Jays.
Because I mean, he saw what they offered Ohtani, right? So I mean, obviously he knows he's not Ohtani, but he knows there's money there.
Yeah, there's money somewhere for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what the Jays didn't do this offseason lets you know they think they're in it to win it next year, which is great. I think I want the Blue Jays to be good.
Yeah, but I do too. They've just had a lot of disappointments.
They have.
Like
they really have.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I got one more card, Jeff.
Let's do it.
Okay. This last card comes from Dirty Water Sports Cards. Big David Ortiz super collector. And this is interesting because can you see it at all, Jeff?
Yes, on the bottom. Oh, that's a little better. Yep. Oh.
Is it getting bigger?
No. Oh, it did get bigger, then now it got smaller again.
Damn it. All right, hold on. On my screen, I can't really see that it's changing. Where did it go? It's over here. Oh, and we just jumped. Oh, no. X out. Oh, boy. All right, give me a second. So, yes, that card, I'm going to stop sharing. I'll just pull it up. So, Dirty Water shared this David Ortiz card that I only very recently discovered existed at all. It's from 2020 Topps Update. And they they have a couple of SSPs. There's an Ichiro. There's a George Brett. There's a Magic Johnson. Do you remember that one? I think we showed that one last month.
Yeah, I remember the Magic Johnson one.
Okay. All right, here we go. So this is the David Ortiz card. I found it on, so there's one listing sitting on eBay at a pretty high price. Here we go. Anyway, so I never knew that this card existed. So it's exciting for me to learn about an SSSP that I never saw before. So this is Ortiz, in a suit at Fenway Park. Is it visually interesting? Not really. But if you're an Ortiz or an Ortiz collector, a big Red Sox fan, I feel like this might be something you need.
Now, what does PSA call that? An SSSP?
SSSP. I think there's 3 at PSA, 2 10s and a 9.
Yeah, that's extremely
so really, really rare.
Yeah, if you're an Ortiz completist, that's going to be one of the tougher ones to get on your list.
So yeah, this one and the 2016 were the 2 Ortizes I'd never seen in person, like outside of a Beckett gallery before.
Seen this one, and I never saw the 16 either.
So I don't know about this one. I guess you can see Fenway Park in the back. There's some cool stuff.
Yeah, and it's a very proud Papi look. This maybe it was like a retirement ceremony or something.
Yeah, definitely celebrating something.
Yeah,
it could have been. I'm trying to think this would have had to happen in like 2020 or 2019. I don't know. Yeah. But this is, in terms of pop counts, this card and the and the Ortiz flag and then that Jose Bautista Stadium Club, I think, are the 3 lowest total graded cards.
5 total graded at PSA. Yeah.
But overall,
some incredible cards that we saw. Mad City says, how many SSP cards do the both of you have? Chris has a lot more than me. The ones we share are the majority of the 2012, 2013, 2014 Chrome SSPs that we're trying to complete those sets. But yeah, I think Chris has more SSPs than I do.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is off the top of my head. Brandon, so that's a really cool dual auto. We were talking about dual autos. I'm way behind on comments, Jeff. So okay. I just clicked back over. This card sounds awesome. And hopefully it sounds like your last name. We shared a card of yours earlier. I hope you saw it. Okay. I'm just going to jump ahead here. Oh my God. All right. It's been a while.
We got to most of them along the way. Jeff Black. Yes, we did talk about Freddie Freeman's son, and it sounds like things are on the upswing. So yeah, our thoughts go out to them, and hopefully he's back home soon, and Freddie's back out there.
Yeah, we started with that. We're very happy he's off the ventilator. It sounds absolutely terrifying. I don't see how you couldn't possibly play baseball with that going on.
No.
So hopefully he's back. Freeman's back on the field, which would indicate that his son is on the mend.
Yeah.
So that's what she said. Sports Cards is taking a little blame here, which I appreciate.
Okay. The Trout injury's on me. I submitted a 2011 Topps Update Trout rookie and got a BGS 10. That's what she said. Sports Cards. Well, you're one of the few still submitting to BGS. That's impressive. Heads up, I'm washing my car tomorrow. Let the rain begin. So what sort of right now, what sort of premium is there? That's what she said, with a BGS 10 over a PSA 10 for something like Trout.
That's a great question. I
know the premium used to be huge for 10s, well, especially black labels, but even 10s. But I know that gap was coming closer together.
Yeah, I don't know. G-Dubs, I don't know if this is a joke or if you're being serious. It would be nice if we get a little historical accuracy here. I don't know.
Wasn't he shot more recently than that? I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember. I think he was probably shot pre-COVID.
Okay, so that could
could be it.
Right in that wheelhouse, G-Dubs. Chris, Zach has a question for you. Do you know if the new 2024 Ohtani SSP from Korea refracts?
Yes. It looks like the 10 SSPs in Topps Chrome are all refractors. And his is probably, I think, the best image. Wouldn't you agree, Jeff? He's coming out opening day with like the fireworks around him.
Oh, that's the fireworks one. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah. And it was, we were giving kudos to Topps for actually getting that in the set, since that was this year.
Yeah. Really, really cool card. The only thing that bugs me a little bit, because something always has to bug me a little bit, is that they use the same kind of image for bets. And then for bets, it was just an SP.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of SSPs, that Ohtani is tremendous. The LED La Cruz with the horns is great. And then I think Churio is probably like the third best. The rest of them are
the rest are
a little bit dull.
Yeah.
All right. So we're done with SSP Thursday with our showcase, if you will. I wanted to take 2 minutes and tell everyone the story about how I screwed up something, or I was royally screwed. I'll tell you the story, and you let me know if I know I bear a good amount of responsibility here. But all right, so a card pops up on eBay that I really, really wanted, Jeff.
Yes.
And the buy it now price was above all the recent comps. So I thought that's too high. So I figured I would risk it. And I messaged the seller my Instagram handle. And 5 minutes later, he messaged me. We went back and forth on price, and we agreed on a price. And then this was nighttime. This was like midnight. And he's like, okay, I'll send you my PayPal tomorrow and we'll finalize. And I was like, tomorrow though? Like, just give it to me now and I'll send you the money. Anyway, so overnight I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, what if someone just hits that buy it now and I miss out on the card?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be bummed.
Right.
But the price we agreed on actually netted the seller more than if someone did hit the buy it now. And it cost me less because off of eBay and PayPal, there's no sales tax. So this was like a win-win. So in the morning, I went to bed. I was nervous. I really, really wanted this card, Jeff. So in the morning, I wake up. It's still on eBay, and he messaged me, here's my PayPal. As soon as I get your money, I'll take it down. I should be able to ship out today. I'm like, great. Right. So I send him the money right away. I tell him, hey, money sent.
Okay.
And he's like, all right, I don't see it yet, but no problem. As soon as I do, like, I'll send you tracking. And I'm like, great, address to my PayPal, no problem. And I just sort of assumed it was done. Like an hour later, we were about to head out, and I was like, that's weird. I heard anything. So I check, and I have not heard anything from this guy. It's still up on eBay. So I'm like, what the heck? So I go into my PayPal, and I realize the PayPal transaction is pending. I'm like, that's not good.
No.
So I look in, and it says that the account that I sent the money to doesn't exist. That person has to create a PayPal account to receive the money. So I'm like, all right. So at that point, two things are evident. He gave me the wrong email address. Like something was wrong. And I am freaking out a little bit because now it's like we're getting to the middle of the day here. So I send him a note. I'm like, hey, here's what PayPal tells me. I think you gave me the wrong address. Like, tell me what number's wrong or whatever, and I'll correct this as soon as possible. I'll get you your money because right now it's just sitting there. So here's where I screwed up, Jeff, because I didn't hear from him for 2 hours. And in that 2 hour time, what I should have done is just hit the buy it now, just to make sure that I had the card and then we could. But I didn't even think about it. I figured our deal was done anyway, and I forgot about the whole eBay listing. He messages me 2 hours later, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He like transposed two of the numbers. Whatever. It was supposed to be like his email ended in 20, and he wrote 02. He's like, "I am so sorry. This is my email address, and this is what the PayPal is." I'm like, "Okay, great." He's like, "But now we have a problem because someone bought it on eBay."
Oh no!
Someone had just hit the buy it now. And I'm like, that's not really a problem. All you have to do is just hit cancel and refund that guy's money. Not a big deal. I'll send you the money via PayPal. And then there was that long pause, Jeff, where it says seen. And you just, you know what's coming. Like he's just not sure what to do. He was uncomfortable.
Right. He doesn't want to get on eBay's bad side. He doesn't know what would happen if he cancels it, right?
That's right.
The situation then?
That's right. So after about 20 minutes, he's like, "Listen, I am so sorry. I know it's my fault that I gave you the wrong email. And I know you tried to pay me earlier. And I know this will make me more money." He's like, "But I don't know what eBay will do. And I'm not comfortable canceling the eBay transaction. So I'm really sorry." So that card that I really wanted, just sort of yanked out from under me. Now, Jeff, you know my wife, you know her very well. And some of you in the chat have interacted with her. She's very sensitive. She's tender, and she's aware of my emotions and how damaged I can be in a situation like this. I explained her the situation. You know what she said? She said, "How much money were you going to save?" And I said, $60. She's like, "You're an idiot and a cheap ass. You should have just bought the damn card."
Well, I think she's just giving you free reign to spend more money then. She's just saying, don't bother trying to get a deal. Just if you like the card, just buy it. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah. That's Jeff. I like how you're looking at this. Yeah, you're right. But
Andrew says, how hard would it have been for him to end the listing or raise the price temporarily? Yes, there's a lot of things he could have done on his end while he was waiting for you to pay. If you really,
but all I would have had to do, and looking back at this, how stupid that 2 hours where I sent it, I just forgot about the eBay listing. I just had to buy it now, pay for the card, and then tell him like, just cancel it, and we'll do the PayPal. But like at the end of the day, yeah, I tried to save $60. I was a cheap ass. And I lost the card over it.
At the same time, there's people, unscrupulous people on eBay who would have just said, once you bought it, then thanks, I'll just take that, and I'm not going to cancel it and deal with it some other way. I'll just take what you paid, and then you would have been out that $60. So I get that.
Yeah, it was.
Here from M. Parsons, I followed up by saying it's better you save 100% of the money.
Now it's too late. Jeff already interpreted what you said correctly, so that the damage is done. We're all moving on.
You're giving Leo nightmares,
dude. I'm having nightmares.
This is that maybe it's a learning experience for us all. If there's a card you really want on there and the price is somewhat reasonable, you should just hit buy it now.
Hit the buy it now. This particular card,
another card yesterday on there.
This particular card, Jeff. There's 16 of them, so that's one down. And I know another one has already been posted on Instagram that someone has, and it's in their PC. So I'm down to 14 options.
Well, maybe this guy who purchased it will post it for double, and then you'll end up paying twice as much as you would have.
I already know who it is. He posted it on Instagram. And this actually might be the greatest like cherry on top of me being an idiot story that I possibly could have seen. It shows up on my Instagram feed. And the guy wrote, sometimes when you see a card for your PC, you just have to smash that buy it now without even thinking about it. Because you know you'll never see the card again. I was just like, God damn it.
Meanwhile, 16 hours earlier, you had seen it and could have smashed it at any time.
And I squabbled over $60, which isn't a small amount of money, but at the end of the day, like, he's right. You see something you want, whapa, you just have to hit the buy it now.
Sunier is going to make his wife watch this part of the video and see what she thinks about it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know what card it is, but I'm guessing you're not going to say because you're hoping another one shows up.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say it because it's cool, and I really don't want to I don't want to out it. You know, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, one will find its way to me, and I'll post it. But until then, I'm gonna keep quiet about it.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, it's such a bummer, but yeah, at the end of the day, as frustrated as I was with the other guy, I'm more frustrated with myself.
So the professor has he's saying this is how I felt at the National, and the dealer would only accept cash. So you finally made a deal for the amount of money, and then the dealer said he would only take cash and not PayPal friends or whatever.
Yeah, I was talking to Professor's Dugout about this earlier today, and yeah, some dealers apparently at the National wouldn't take like PayPal friends and family. They just wanted cash, and I don't walk around with that kind of cash.
Yes, that's a lot to ask, especially for what some of these cards go for. Yeah, James, I think a lot of people can relate. Okay. So Gabagoat says someone just bought a card of mine on eBay. Was it a card that we were talking about?
Am I down to 13? What are we talking about here? What was the card, Gabagoat? Please let us know.
Oh man.
Hold on. Kevin Blackhurst has a good question for us, Jeff. How much? So for those of us interested in Paul Skeen's cards, he will be in Update. He will be in Heritage High Number. He will be in Chrome Update, probably Sapphire Update. He's going to have rookie cards this year. So yeah, that red ink is going to go for a lot. I would guess. I'm just going to spitball a number out there, Jeff. The first one on eBay goes for $2,500.
I was thinking 2,000. So yeah, I feel like you're probably right.
Yeah, and we know Kevin Blackhurst, who is Blue Hen 2121 on Instagram, has an incredible Pittsburgh Pirates collection. I believe he has all but 2 of the Heritage Red Ink Pirates players in the history of Heritage. Really, really great account. Check that one out if you haven't seen it.
Which 2 are you missing, Kevin?
They're pretty random, as I recall. They weren't like big names, but he's already, I'm sure, saving money and selling blood to try and save up for Paul Skeens.
Yeah, it's going to cost a lot. And as Chris said, the first one's probably going to cost the most. Then there might be a small sweet spot in there, or maybe there'll be a downturn this offseason, but you never know with that.
You never know either. And there's going to be, what are they up to numbering wise, Jeff? Like 74, 75?
Yeah, 74. Yeah, right around
so it's
there.
Not, there's certainly a floor in there. I would say if you see one you could get for under $2,000, you probably just have to snatch that up. Unless you're willing to play a long game and wait till he needs Tommy John and buy it then. Oh,
that's true.
So he's caught up.
O'Neal Cruz was the rookie, was the last one. Congratulations. That's incredible.
That is incredible. Post, if you can get a group shot together, we'll share that next week because that sounds absolutely unbelievable.
You might need to get on a ladder and put them all across the floor to get them all in a picture, but that would be a great shot.
That's right. Yeah. Lock the pets away and put them all on the floor. Yeah. So Jeffrey Farmer here, this is exactly the thing. But did you overpay? He says, I overpaid for a Jazz recently because it's only a pop 5 and I didn't want to wait for the other 4 to show up. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. There were 16 of that card, and I should have just hit the buy it now and lied to my wife about the $60. Is obviously the way that I should have gone, Jeff.
Yeah, overpay is hard to say on a card that has that few.
Yeah. How many shots are we going to get?
Run that few copies out there. It's hard to say you overpaid.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agreed. Totally agreed.
Yeah. Well, we saw a lot of amazing cards this Thursday. Again, if you guys aren't on Instagram or don't have a card account, it might be worth just going on there, checking out the hashtag SSP Thursday, because you'll see a lot of cards you haven't seen. We've seen a lot of cards even today that, like Chris said, even the 2 Ortiz that we haven't seen before. So yeah, our next SSP Thursday is in September. It's the first Thursday of September. I don't know what date that is now, but
Will, I don't know, man. I think I'm better off saying it was cards. With inflation, though, has the you know what? That's we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
Ay. Oh,
Peeps is wondering what year did Topps do the first declared SSPs?
So if Peeps, if you're on Instagram, our buddy Ephus Pitch did a quick little reel where he kind of broke down the history of SSPs, and it's a very quick watch and tons of information in there. The first like known image variations are in 2007. I think there's four or five. Like it's a very small number, and they're really hard to find. And they're not like huge Hall of Fame names either. I would say the first official, like these are super short prints, shorter printed than other short prints, would be 2012, Jeff.
Yeah,
with the Reyes and the Pools. I think they made a bunch of SPs that year, but those two they said were going to be shorter printed. So whether they
paper and then Chrome, they also had the short prints.
Yeah, so I would say that. I would say 2012. 2010, there's some really good image variations that are short printed, but they're all like the same level of short printed. Like the Strasbourg pie in the face. They're all the same level. 2012 is the first year I know of where Topps said these two are more rare than the rest.
Yeah, and John is mentioning the George Bush. Was that 91 Topps?
90. Same year as the Frank Thomas no name.
Yes, that 90 Topps. Okay. Yeah, and I mean that's extremely short printed. I don't know if it's considered an SSP.
I would say no, because there's like I think one of the factors for an SSP, it has to be pack pulled. And the theory, the rumor, the legends are that all those George Bush cards were given to the White House and given to the staff. But there are rumors that some people I have seen online, some people swearing that they pulled one out of a pack, but it's unsubstantiated. And it was really cool. One of the best parts of going to shows like the National and the Burbank show, Jeff, is we saw one of those for the first time last year.
Yes, seeing that and the Frank Thomas no name. Yeah, being pack pulled is one thing. And then another thing that people usually consider is there has to be a base card in the set that it's a short or super short printed version of. So there's no regular George Bush card in the set.
Yeah, I don't know what number the Bush card even is on the back for it to technically be a variation of something else. So I would say that would not qualify.
No.
That is really cool though. If you happen to see one in person with the Yale jersey, like that's a really fun card. Little Americana on that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for a bit of history, that dealer at the Burbank show had, I want to say he had a Bush and two Frank Thomas no names.
There were two, yeah.
I think there were two, and they were like, I want to say everything was like $5,000 a piece, something like that. And someone bought one of the Frank Thomas ones right there while we were looking at them.
Yep.
Those cards are really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it was on purpose by Topps back then. That would be a pretty impressive move.
But then they kind of didn't do it for another 2 decades. So.
Yeah, with Louis Robert, right? In 2020, the SSS, I think three S's.
3 decades, 3 S's. Yeah.
By the way, Jeff, why is Louis Robert still on the White Sox? What are they doing?
I don't know.
What are they doing?
I don't know. Maybe he made some similar crazy claims like Garrett Crochet that people didn't want to touch. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean that's just it's hard to believe. Like what? I mean, the White Sox are years away from relevance. They're looking to lose 125 games this year. It's sad. And get Louis Robert out of there. Give him a chance.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, Jeffrey Farmer. That's pretty funny.
That's $60. Well,
yeah.
You could get a pretty good Hall of Fame reliever card for that $60.
I don't think there's a Lee Smith card, Jeff, that sells for more than $60. I really don't think there is.
I don't think there is either. You could probably even get a good Trevor Hoffman card for that.
Yeah. Good Lord. Good Lord. Okay, we're winding down here. How do you feel like this is the same thing? How do you figure the quantity produced? Matt, it's a crapshoot. Right now, like what Topps said for 2024, they said their golden mirrors were 150 for Series 1. Now they print less of everything in Series 2, so I would guess there's going to be less in Series 2. But then Update's going to tick back up again, especially with Paul Skeens in there. They're going to print the hell out of Update this year. Yeah. But 150 for the golden mirror SSP seems about right, given the amount that we've seen for sale. It's not. There's never like 20 of them on eBay at one time, Jeff. So I would say those are pretty rare. 150 sounds about right.
Yep, agreed. Agreed. Professor says you could get a great Ecker fingers for $60, and that's what I would go with. You're gonna buy a.
Yeah, or just get a nice Rivera. Find a Rivera auto. He's got one of the best autos of all the retired players. He and Griffey really have great autos and images too. There's some really good Mariano Rivera images out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, is there anything else you want to hit before we let you go get your chicken chunks?
Two things. There are two cards. I wanted to do quick Instagram shout outs. All right. I know that we've been on for a long time, but give me a second.
Sure.
It'll give M. Parsons a chance to do some work as a moderator. All right. Sell 3. There it is. Okay. So we were talking about Heritage and Red Ink autos, I think specifically.
Yes.
This card was pulled and posted by an Instagram account called Sell3PCS. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Sell 3 pieces, maybe. And it is one of the best Red Ink autos I've seen from Heritage this year.
Oh, yes. I saw this one. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's great. Yep. Love that 75 design.
Yep. They got the same image in there.
Yep. I'm kind of surprised they didn't throw a rookie card shield on there.
I'm honestly, Jeff, I'm glad they didn't. Topps has a real hard time not using those shields when they reprint cards.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised.
Heritage on there. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, when I think in 2020 Topps Chrome, they had those like retro autos where they had Chrome versions of the old Topps rookie autos or rookie cards with autographs on them. Like Acuna had one, Trout had one, and they didn't take the RCs off. That just irritated me. But all right, last card.
What? Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Because those aren't rookie cards, and people are going to buy them thinking they're from 2018 or 2011.
It would confuse people. Yes, you're right.
Exactly, and we're all easily confused, especially after we've gone a week without Jack Daniels and we get it back. All right, last card I want to share. This one again comes from LJB 42 Collections, and there's a specific reason I wanted to share this card.
All right.
So this is a Rafael Devers 2018 Topps Chrome purple rookie auto. Yeah. Numbered out of 250. Yeah. And he asks the question that Jeff and I asked in a recent video, talking about 2024 Topps Chrome and the ridiculous prices. Would you rather rip a box of 2024 Topps Chrome or buy a card like this? And this is what he did. He was able to purchase this low-numbered Rafael Devers on-card Topps Chrome rookie auto of a guy who has 1,000 hits at age 27.
The fact that those are the same price, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the only way Topps changes is if we stop ripping. We stop buying. Maybe they lower the price. But until then, when stuff like this is out there, you can't justify it, Jeff. You can't.
Right. Can you imagine opening packs and you get this? You'd be elated. So just get it instead of the packs.
Exactly. It's a great time right now to look back and pick up some nice Topps Chrome rookie autos of these big name players.
Yep.
Because they've established themselves, and all these rookies are flashy and exciting, but they haven't established anything yet. And we don't know what they're going to be.
John and Dad says I saw one of those ripped from a Topps exchange box. I did see the base. I didn't see a purple ripped from there, but there were some big cards ripped from those exchange boxes from the National. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jeff and I aren't fans, as we've said before. We won't get into it again, but we're not fans of that program.
No, it's like they're bartering cards. They're getting rid of cards that aren't really theirs anymore, which is
exactly. All right. Jeff, I just want to hit one more comment, and then I'm good to call it a night.
Okay.
Cody Schultz asks,
yeah, I had
the chicken chunks recipe. It's very easy. You walk into Costco, you go to the frozen section where the meats are, and it's in a green bag, Kirkland brand. I think it's just called breaded chicken chunks. We're not making up the name, and they are delicious. You can put them in the oven or an air fryer if you've got one. And the macros, if you're into that type of thing, are actually, they're not bad. There's a ton of protein and there's not much else in there that's terrible. So highly recommended. They are delicious. And recently, Jeff, they cured a migraine that a friend of ours was dealing with.
Wow, so they should put that on the package.
Yeah, some anecdotal evidence that they could cure migraines.
Cure migraines. Excellent. Matt, thank you. Hoops and Homers, thank you guys for watching. Thanks everybody for tuning in, spending another SSP Thursday with Chris and I. We love talking about these cards, and we love seeing them every first Thursday of the month. So thank you. Kirkland brand is the best, but my kids like the Dino Bites.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If they made I would also eat chicken chunk in Dino Bite shape, Jeff.
Yeah, but that's probably Chris is the target market for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks everybody again for joining us. If you haven't, please hit that like and please subscribe, because that really helps us reach other people, which is great if more people can join the conversation. And please also check out any Spitball and Cards videos. We put up a couple recently about the National and about the Hall of Fame, and we do it with our friends Filmington, Teapot, and Scotty B Cards. So please check that out. We did talk about the CT scans. That's a little bit of a downer, but if you're interested to know about what the latest is with CT scans and how wax might or might not be dead, please check that video out. Anything else you want to add, Chris?
Yeah, I would just say I recommend watching that video, not just as a learning experience, because if you're interested in buying some high value older wax, just be aware there's a really good chance someone's used a medical device on it to find out if there's a big hit in there.
Yeah. Yep.
It's an unfortunate place we are in the hobby.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. Please call your parents. Say hi to the family. I'm lucky I'm going to get to see my family this weekend and see the parents. So take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Cheers.